Vinnie Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Vinnie Moore. This man means so much to me. And a lot of you probably aren't aware who he even is. He's an absolute legend. One of the kind of Relativity records, maybe, you know, like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani back in the early 90s, played for Alice Cooper, current guitarist for UFO, huge band. But just an absolute inspirational legend to me personally, because he encompassed full-on, all-out badassery. Not only did he write such brilliant songs and melodies and riffs, but his technique was phenomenal. Not only is, you know, he fused a lot of different things together, you know, sweeps and alternate picking. His alternate picking was savage. And also hybrid picking, which he was a huge influence. So first thing you all have to do is dig out the album Meltdown, okay, and it's just phenomenal. So that song right there, it was Check It Out from the Meltdown album, and I think it's one of the ones he's well known for. It's just absolute epic. He has a lot of, like, you know, it's like jazz influence, you know, a lot of blues, but is very much a rock player, and that was the thing I was drawn to early on. So I think the first thing I heard, he was actually on, Alice Cooper had an album. Can't remember the name. Oh God, Hey Stupid, hey Stupid. Either way, we'll put the album up. Chris will put the album up. But he played on a couple of songs on that, and so did Joe Satriani. Steve Vai played on the Feed 'em My Frankenstein. And again, I used to have that and listen to that, but it was the coming across again the Meltdown album, just phenomenal sheer technique going on. He also did again, different times back then, but he was famous for a Pepsi commercial where he did this. It was very Van Halen-esque. I can't remember the actual riffs and stuff, but I know he did this kind of thing. Probably a little bit faster than that. Turn all that off. Anyway, savage picking technique. But it was only when I saw an instructional video, I think it was like the Hot Licks instructional video, and you see him playing. It is such a clean technique. But it freaked me out to see the technique, because he actually uses a lot of elbow. And that, for some reason, it freaks me out. I don't know how anyone can be accurate with full-on elbow movement. But it just goes to show, there's always going to be teachers and you know, instructors in colleges, whatever, and they'll tell you sometimes there's this way and this is the only way. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to have your hand there, you need to do that kind of thing. And it just shows there's always someone who disproves it. Actually, there's they call it the exception, but then it's, you look at guys like, do you remember Michelangelo? You know, Michelangelo Badio would have all his fingers on there and kind of go, and then you had, you know, Steve Morse does a weird, he holds it like that, doesn't he? You know, one of the best alternate pickers in history. And then you look at, say, like, you know, John Petrucci early on, you know, again, he had the little finger there, and then you have Paul Gilbert, who'd have like the kind of that kind of approach. And if you ever look at like someone like Jimmy Rosenberg from like Gypsy Jazz kind of thing, he'll have all three fingers out and use the wrist. And the point being is there's a million different ways. there's certain things you can do that may benefit later on. And that's kind of like my approach here, is I have quite a very neutral stance, picking position. One of the main reasons is I do like to incorporate everything. So again, I'll have a lot of hybrid going on, which brings me to the other thing you have to listen for Vinnie Moore, which is an Out of Nowhere album. Again, it's a bit more raw, a bit more blues, but he has an album on that called Vinman's Screaming Gale. Don't quite know exactly how that bit goes there, but he has loads of these hybrid things. Something like that. I'll revise that whole thing. But that track just totally floored me. And again, incorporated me into the first sort of hybrid stuff. And then I also did like that track, the Zakk Wylde one, where you've got Devil's Daughter. That was the other thing that got me into the hybrid thing. Anyway, I digress. He's just a phenomenal figure in the guitar scene, and he's not as celebrated as he should be, in my opinion. So you've all got to go and follow him on his social media and check out the Meltdown and the Out of Nowhere album. But another interesting thing I want to show you is I actually stole. I have like a signature, well, not a signature lick. I don't have a signature or anything, but you know, it's one of the things that I'll always play. This phrase here. It's kind of like the first thing I'll ever do picking up a guitar, really, is trying to just, synchronize my hands here. And again, good old-fashioned pentatonic kind of thing. But it's, I guess, taken from... Do you remember that? Rumble? More or less, straight down a pentatonic. But I throw in the blues note. And the exact thing I stole from Vinnie Moore on the outro to his song, Thunderball. Oh god, sorry, I got totally carried away there. The end of the song, he does this phrase here. And then he comes straight down. Just pentatonic with the blues note added, and then straight again from an A note on the G. But the sheer aggression in that, and that has got to be one of my most favourite phrases ever. And that's literally what I'm doing there. So you see, I'm a thief. I stole it straight from Vinnie Moore, who probably stole it really from, like, you know, classic stuff right there. But get the wah pedal on. You got to go and listen to that Thunderball. What an absolute kick in the face of a song. But that melody. Oh, come on. Vinnie Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I shouldn't shout him. Go and dig him out. He's absolute badassery of the 11th degree. And we're going to look at loads of his things in the future. But I've got to make sure I'm fully warmed up before I try and attempt any of that. Because again, his technique is just unbelievable. He does all of it. Sweeps, pentatonics, phrases. Anyway, go and dig out. Meltdown. Out of nowhere. And he's got loads of albums since. And I think he's got a relatively new one as well. So you'll all have to dig into that. But anyway, Vinnie Moore, we've all got to bow down and give him the credit he deserves, because he's a bit of an unknown hero and it's a disgrace. So we're here to rectify that. So now, I'll see you next week and I'll end it with the stolen Vinnie Moore lick. Thank you very much.